All this love waiting just for you. You know that I adore you. If we pour up, pour two.
Yeah, YouTube, what's good? It's the boy, Christmas Papi, back with another banger. You dig? Today's a light mukbang. I'm here with the
Ariana.
Yes, sir. Go subscribe to her channel right now, ASAP. Links below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Turn on the post notifications for both of us. All links below. All of our previous vids below. Make sure you go do that right now. Like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Papi Bus mob. I appreciate you. Alright. Today we're gonna dive in. We're gonna talk about a lot what's going on with George Floyd and Ahmaud and Breonna Taylor. We're going to talk a lot about that and the racial injustice going on right now, and racism still existing, and just things of that of that nature, or those topics, these sensitive topics that some people don't want to have, and just spread some awareness on the subject and the matter at hand right now, and what's going on in the U.S. and everything. Alright, so you feel me? Comment below if you have any opinions on this or say anything. I will be chatting with y'all in the comments, so please comment below. I'm answering all comments that are worthy of answering.
Yeah, facts. If you're coming on the comments,
if you're coming
crazy,
very ignorant, I'm just not with it. Right now this is a mukbang. The food we're eating is Polish Soul Food Cafe, Hackensack, New Jersey, y'all. Polish Soul Food Cafe. I got mac and cheese, candied yams, barbecue chicken wings, and fried shrimp.
You got a whole lot.
You did? Let me say my grace, y'all.
Wait, I want to say with you.
Dear God, thank you.
Amen.
Amen. That's all I usually say. I keep it simple. There's a lot I could thank him for, so keep it very broad. But yeah, I hope they've upped the charges on one of the officers, and they charged the other 3 officers, or they're gonna announce the charges.
They charged them. They charged them with abiding and something like that. I don't really know.
Oh, they charged them.
Yeah, but that's pretty much just they're charged with like being involved in the crime, not like committing the crime. I don't know exactly necessarily what it means, and I don't know if they like face like jail time or like have to do like a fine or something. I don't know what they actually got, but I know they were charged with like something.
So they weren't charged with murder?
No.
Or accomplices?
Yeah.
They were charged with accomplices?
Yeah, I think.
Wow. Well, I definitely gotta look and see what they were charged on with that. Definitely gonna take part in a protest for my town. There's like one coming up.
There's
2 coming up. I'm definitely gonna try and take part in both of them. I'm still working through all this, so it's kind of hard, you dig? But I'm definitely gonna show face and do my part and participate.
Yeah. And guys, I feel like everyone should be like signing all the petitions that you guys see. Definitely donate if you can. I mean, if you guys can't, definitely sign the petitions and like go to protest if you can. Obviously peacefully, but just try to take part in everything, and
I support people peacefully protesting.
Yeah.
I also think that it's very bad to loot, but looting is just a language of the unheard. Kaepernick has tried to peacefully protest by kneeling years ago. People have tried to do that years ago, and this has just been a built-up thing. So people had to resort to looting to be heard. Like people really had to loot just so the other officers got charged. So in a way, it kind of worked.
They're being heard.
Yeah,
like that's how you're getting them to be heard.
Exactly.
Because if they're peacefully protesting, they're literally like, he lost his NFL
Yeah,
career.
he lost his job, got blacklisted from the NFL.
So it's like peaceful's not working. What do you want them to do? And by all means, we're not condoning like loitering.
Like
and
I said,
everything.
looting is loiting, whatever it is. It's bad. It shouldn't take place. It's definitely a crime.
Yeah.
But if you're more loud about the looting than you are about the killings and the injustice of innocent minority people,
You're the problem.
then yeah,
You're the problem. Point blank period.
Mhm.
Like,
that's the big problem right there. Like, you can't be louder about the lootings than the killings, because if the killings don't go on, then the looting never takes place. It's that simple. But it's been years of this. I also don't feel like they cover it enough in schools. They really, like, enough in American history. They don't cover a lot of this up. A lot of black history in American history. They don't cover a lot of that up. Boston Tea Party, the Tulsa Force or the Tulsa riots or something, where they looted and rioted in black neighborhoods, and basically the Black Wall Street back then. But people aren't mentioning that and bringing those up because some people really don't know. And I also believe that racism is taught in homes, and, you know, maybe you're not racist, but maybe you have someone in your family. That's where the conversation begins. You can't let people in your family slide with that point of view, because all black people and minorities are asking for is just fair treatment. And some people are still saying but no, like, what's right is right. This isn't even really about color. It's really about what's right. Like, yes, it's about color, but it's mainly about what's right. Like, what's the right thing to do? You need to be more compassionate for people, you know, because
yeah. And if you felt no type of way even watching the video of what happened to George Floyd, then that's a problem. You honestly really need to go check yourself, because even like being racist or not, just looking at that video, being like, he was an innocent man, you know? Even if whatever he did, the counterfeit bill, whatever it was, like, that doesn't matter.
There's been people who've done the same crimes because of a different color of their skin, and they're still alive. I mean, yes, he committed a crime. I mean, with the forgery thing, but even then, he wasn't trying to, like, fight the arrest. He wasn't resisting. Yeah. He let them arrest him, and the 4 officers on a man who's handcuffed. How is
for
he
9 minutes, literally saying he can't breathe?
How is he still a threat if your hands are handcuffed behind your back and there's 4 officers on you? How are you still a threat? And they supposedly knew each other, so it kind of almost seems premeditated to me, you know. So I don't know how it didn't get first degree, because that seems pretty meditated to me right there.
And yeah, at first it literally got 3rd degree murder, like charged with 3rd degree. That to me was just insane itself. Like, yes, I'm so glad that he got charged, and, you know, that's like, you're supposed to be charged, sorry, but like 3rd degree instead of like 1st degree, there was legit a video, like, there's evidence right there in itself. Like, and I feel like if people weren't protesting and like doing all this crazy stuff, would he really have been charged? Or like, if it wasn't filmed, would he even have been charged? Like, absolutely.
Like, that's another thing. I don't think he would have been charged, because there's so many other people who this has happened to, and we have no proof of it, and that's why nothing happened to them, you know.
And it's not even just him. There's many other black lives that are just being taken for no reason. Yeah. Like, Breonna Taylor was literally sleeping in her home, and they came in and just murdered her. Like, come on.
That's why, if you think this is just going to stop just because of the George Floyd case, no. This is, like I said, this is time and time again built up and built up and built up. People were upset when Colin Kaepernick kneeled. Now people are upset that people are rioting and looting, and it got to this point. But like I said, rioting and looting is just a language of the unheard. We've tried peacefully protesting. People have taken knees. We've tried speaking up about it, but it's tough when you have people still being dismissive of it and not acknowledging it. And then the leadership of the country, you have kind of leading the charge as far as racism, providing an awful example.
Don't even get me started.
So, I mean, for example, Dylan Roof murdered people in a church and was arrested peacefully. Not only arrested peacefully without a scratch, and murdered people, but was taken to Burger King after he did it because he told the officers he was hungry. Like, if that's not white privilege at its finest, I don't know how to put it in any better terms for you. I mean,
there's a lot of videos too like that are coming out of like white privilege, and there was like a really good video. You know, it's like Step Forward. If that one was really good, you should link some videos below and like link like the donation and sign the petition and stuff, because
I'm gonna definitely put some links below where y'all can sign up, or y'all can videos that y'all can see that'll make you more aware of white privilege and having more of an opportunity than others, of the system that's been set in place, because it's really systematic, and that's why it's so hard to put the blame on one specific person or, you know, one specific thing, because it really is the system. Like America was built off capitalism. Americans came here and took it from Native Americans. So like, you know, America's foundation isn't set correctly, which is why this is also taking place.
And like you said, like, racism is taught. You're not born racist at all. At all. You hear your parents talk, or by all means it could be whoever, your grandparents, because they're obviously the older generation, and I feel like older generations are more racist.
Absolutely, which is why I personally feel that you shouldn't have 65-year-old white men in authority, in position of authority in this country. I'm sorry. A lot of them are 65-year-old white men, and they were around when a lot of that was going on, and still really feel like that, which is kind of, I feel, which is kind of Trump's slogan, make America great again, because when was America great? You know?
And honestly, I don't know why, but as soon as like Trump got elected, I knew all this shit was gonna happen. Honestly, because
he made it comfortable for people to come up and make it known that they were racist, you know?
He would literally say racist comments all the time. Like, all the time. From when he first got elected to now. Like, it has never stopped. And the fact that people even think he's a great president is beyond me. Beyond me. Like, it's just awful. Like, the one good thing I will say about Trump is I think he's a good businessman. I'm not gonna lie, I think he's a good businessman, but he's an awful human being. He's a racist and he's a rapist. I'm sorry. And the fact that he's still fucking president, being racist one and being a rapist, and it makes me sick to even
and I say a lot of bold statements. Like I said, I'll chat with y'all in the comments, but I also feel like if you support Trump, anything outside of business, because a lot of Trump supporters, I've asked them on things that he said and stuff like that, and they have no answer for me anytime I ask them about things that he said. Grab him by the pussy, Muslims being terrorists, Mexicans being rapists, you know, and
or even recently with this whole like COVID thing. He literally like a lady was asking him a question, and she was asking Chinese, and he was like, "Why don't you go ask like your Chinese people and stuff like that?" Like, are you kidding?
He's called Corona the Chinese virus, and he's called black people and the rioters thugs on Twitter. So, and
if you guys don't believe us, literally look it up yourself. Like,
but the
Google
people who showed up to the protests about letting outside open because of Corona, with ARs and guns and armed and screaming in policemen's face, he called very fine good people. So I mean, the only race he hasn't come at is his own. So I don't get.
People were literally outside protesting for freaking gyms to open up.
I've had Trump supporters tell me that they don't believe he's a rapist, a racist, or a horrible human being, which I don't know how you see it. I don't know how you can say that with all the signs. Their answer is, oh, he just says stuff that shouldn't be said, or he says what a lot of people are thinking. Like, no, that really doesn't make it okay. And the fact that you really feel that way and feel that it's okay is awful. And you ordered a martial law, which hasn't been done since what, 1903, 1807? Hasn't been done for over at least 5 decades. Sorry, he issued martial law. I don't know how you can still keep defending the guy. Like I've said, everyone who I've encountered, they really have nothing to say, and I just feel like if you support him, you're racist, and it's a slap in the face to your minority friend. You know, and a lot of people have minority friends, but that doesn't mean you're not racist. For some people, just because I know them, so
I like them.
Exactly, like you know, and just like every cop isn't a bad cop, every minority isn't a threat, every black person isn't a threat. Like that has to be, where's the common ground? Like, you know, I also feel like there really is, or shouldn't be, any room for bad cops, because I feel like some jobs can't have bad cops, because if you can't have, like in airlines, like any airlines, American, Southwest, Delta, Spirit, they can't be like, well, some of my pilots like to land the plane. The others, I can't
really fly the plane, land the plane, but
the others not so well. But most of them can.
Like
exactly. That. No, if you can't do it, or you fail one time, you're out of there. You should be fired from that job, or you should know that you're not fit for the job. You can't do the job.
There needs to be a better system of like how cops do their training and stuff, because this is not okay.
Absolutely. I also think cops need to go to college. I think you need, and it's hard to do that now because most cops haven't, but I think you need to do 4 years, have your bachelor's. This way, maybe college will open your mind up a little bit, because you'll see kids from the hood who are there and intelligent and there and getting their degrees, and maybe not like the stereotypes that you have made thought of growing up based off of what's been talked about in your household. Another thing is, cops can't be scared of just black men, because you wouldn't, or minority men, because you don't see them arrest Jews like that. You don't see them arrest their own people in fear. It's almost like they're really in fear, you know? Mm-hmm. And a lot of cops maybe have been bullied when they were younger, so now that they're in authority, they're operating the wrong way with the wrong intent.
Yeah.
Some cops are only the cop for the check, because whatever it was they were trying to do in life, whether it be an athlete, a musician, an artist, a lawyer, or a doctor, and they failed at their plan on how to get rich, whether it was a businessman, accountant, business owner, anything. Whatever it was, their plan failed, and they're looking like, how can I provide for my family? So they just become a cop for the wrong reasons, and they just become a cop for the paycheck, because you can still make 6 figures as a cop without getting a bachelor's degree. It's it's one of the easiest ways. So they're like, oh well, like I'll just do that, and then I don't care about the people. I'm just gonna treat them how I want, and it's not something they really want to do and have to deal with and are committed to, you know, and are passionate about it.
And that's sad to me, because like people look at cops to protect them, and like
exactly.
If you feel uncomfortable going to a cop, that's a problem. That's a problem. That should not be like this. Like, I'm not even black, and sometimes I'm scared to go up to a cop. Like, just because of what I've known they've done to people. Like,
exactly.
It's not okay.
It's definitely not okay, and it's a huge problem for a lot of minorities, because they feel like things will escalate once the cop gets there instead of being helped, you know. So they really have no one to turn to, which is why this resulted to rioting and looting once again, or loiting.
We don't know. Looting.
But this is the result of being unheard, you know. I can't call the cops for help, so I'm gonna have to riot and loot. Like, y'all gonna have to hear me another way then. Like, if I'm not getting through to y'all, that's what it comes down to. And RIP to all the families who lost someone to police brutality and racism for no reason, because, you know, those people should still be here. And as far as looting goes, we know it's wrong. But stores and material things are replaceable. You can't get a life back. That's someone's father, that's someone's brother, that's someone's son.
He's a human being.
Exactly.
They're a human being.
Like,
their life is gone now. Gone.
100%.
For no reason.
Gotta have human decency to see that. I feel like you almost lack human decency if you can't see that.
Yeah.
Like I would pray that all my Caucasian friends or kids that I coach or anyone who knows me, like that if I was murdered by racism, that they would, you know, feel some type of way or stand up instead of just saying, oh, this isn't the way, or I'm not going to participate and blah blah. Like I would hope they would feel some type of way if it were me, you know, because a lot of people truly don't care about things unless it's
done to
them, like they experience
or something
it, you know?
really, someone really close to them, you know.
But this was felt because, like I've said, it's been 400 years of oppression, and 400 years of oppression. People are fed up. People are tired. At some point, you get tired of talking about the same thing over and over. You're gonna explode. Period. Like
tired of talking, tired of seeing it, tired of all that. Like,
And for those of you who may not understand racism or get it, like, be thankful that you didn't have to experience it. Be thankful that you only have to learn about it and not experience it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's probably why you don't understand, because you've never been through it. Like, I've had a cop pull out a gun on me at 17 when I was a high school kid, like driving around with my friends, doing nothing wrong. I've worked in white neighborhoods where I constantly get pulled over, like, what am I doing over here? But I worked over there at a hospital helping lives. So like I've been pulled over coming from IHOP and cops basically giving me a wedgie, yoking my pants up, checking my socks, and I was doing nothing wrong. I don't smoke, like, so.
And if you're privileged, you also have to remember, like, this is your time to speak up, because your voices are being heard. Like, people are obviously listening to you more than anything because you are privileged. So this is your time to speak up for people who aren't privileged like that, you know? Like go to protests, post it on your social media. And honestly, truly, I believe if you're not even posting it on your social media, like, don't claim you love black people. Don't claim you're with black people. Like, that's corny to me. I'm sorry.
Don't jack you have black
friends, black family. Yeah.
Don't jack you don't have black friends, you know, because it's almost a slap to their face. If your friend gets pushed to the ground, just like their color, you're just gonna watch them get pushed to the ground and act like you didn't see it, or, well, you were in the wrong in the first place. Like, no one should be murdered, you know. And a lot of people, a lot of white people, whatever, like, you pay a lot of attention to black culture, the music you sing, the things you do, how you may shoot a basketball, how you may throw a football, how you may catch a football,
or just even using the N-word for fun, just talking to your homeboy or whatever it is. Like,
a lot of you use and appropriate black culture, so you kind of have a duty as an American, as a decent human being, to stick up for what's right. Because yes, like I said, it's about color, but it's about what's right before it's about what's color. Like, this is the right thing to do. What's going on is to stick up for your people. Like, if you're silent, sometimes when you don't get a message, that's sending a message, right?
What?
Sometimes when you don't get a message, that's sending a message. Not sending a message.
Basically, being silent, you're sending your message of where you stand and everything. And I've seen a lot of people that I didn't think would be silent are silent, and it's honestly appalling to me. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it's honestly made me reevaluate a lot of people that I know.
And some people are, you know, or like I said, are more loud about the looting than the killings, which you forget why it happened. Like, when stuff like this happens, you have to evaluate the situation and see why this has happened. This is not just for the arresting of George Floyd. This, like I said, this is built up. This is for Ahmaud. This is for Breonna Taylor. This is for Trayvon Martin. This is Mike Brown. Countless other names. George Stinney. If you don't know the George Stinney story, I will post that link below. I think a lot of people need to see that story. A 14-year-old boy in 1944. He was executed, the youngest person to be executed by the electric chair. He was 14. He was too small to even sit in the chair. He had to sit on books for them to electrocute him. But they electrocuted him and executed him for supposedly, which he didn't do, but 2 white girls, 11 and 8, were killed, and they put it on him. and basically he had to take the fall from it. He didn't see his parents for like 80 days. He was locked up. He was questioned without his parents, put to trial, like everything he faced without his parents, lawyer, all that stuff. So I mean, that's a story that most people don't know that they need to go check out. A 14-year-old boy executed, come on, for a crime he didn't do. Pretty insane, you know. So thoughts out to his family. Long time ago it took place in South Carolina, but there's countless stories like this that I feel like America doesn't know about, because they don't teach these in the schools. They only really teach stuff like the Boston Tea Party, and they don't really cover black history like that. Because I mean, Sandra Bland story, that was awful. Y'all don't know about that. She pulled from the car for a traffic stop, tail light, something like that.
Something with a blinker.
Yeah, cop roughed her up. Supposedly she was killed. Cop taped her eyes open to take the mug shot, and then put her in her cell, and then she was hung. So like, you know, like they tried to say she was hung. It's a nasty world right now. Best thing you could do is just spread awareness and continue to fight and not be ignorant. You know, have some compassion, because like, what if that was, you know, if you're Caucasian, what if that was done to one of your siblings or someone you know, or close to your heart or your loved one? You would be irate. They keep arresting mass shooters without a scratch on their face or any type of harm to them, but you're shooting and killing innocent black men and minorities for a box of Skittles, or reaching in their pocket for a cell phone, or having a cell phone out, or just totally unarmed, but you're arresting mass shooters peacefully. It really doesn't make sense. It's also heartbreaking for these families, and people are tired of the same old story and not seeing change.
Change needs to happen.
This is stuff that took place in the 60s that Malcolm X and Martin Luther fought for, not to mention they were assassinated also. This is a place where it's taking place back then, and we're still fighting for it. And those who are saying peaceful protest this, peaceful protest that, Martin Luther King peaceful protested all he did, and y'all still killed him. Okay, so I don't really want to hear it personally. I don't really want to. People aren't taking that. We're not accepting that. People rioted after Martin Luther King's death, and 6 days later, Civil Rights Act was passed. So, you know, like, rioting, it may seem like
sometimes
the wrong.
You gotta do something crazy to be heard.
Exactly. Like, you
gotta get out of character.
Exactly. Sometimes people only hear you when you get out of character. That's exactly what it is. Like, sometimes, you know, you gotta scream and yell to get someone's attention or to be heard. Like I said, rioting is just language of the unheard. It's really senseless what happens. Our prayers go out to the families. Definitely, I hope y'all take some light of this video situation. If y'all want me to speak more about it, I could definitely dive into it more. Let me know in the comments which I think. If y'all want me to keep talking about it, I could definitely keep providing examples. Like I've said, like she said, we've donated, we've signed petitions, we're going to protest, you know, like we're doing all we can, spreading awareness. I'm posting videos. Y'all can follow me, follow her on social media, posting videos, reposting videos, you know. And
there's a lot social media tells you that the news doesn't. So it's kind of good to be on social media and see some things to bring more light to you, just in case, you know, because the media really doesn't show you everything that you need to see to fully understand. So definitely follow us on social media, because we post a lot of things that, you know, are not being shown on the news.
Especially on Twitter. Twitter is the best news for our generation. It's the most accurate news. And you're constantly getting some. Twitter will tell you everything. It holds no punches. CNN is definitely censored, mainly towards the cops. They're not showing the peaceful protests that's going on. They're just showing people hitting cops or whatever they want to show, because the cops have them in their back pocket. So it's basically just all one-sided on CNN. Like, CNN showed the lady who was defending Target being hurt in a wheelchair, but Twitter showed the lady stabbing people,
getting out of her
and
wheelchair.
getting out of her wheelchair and walking. And CNN said she was an old lady. She's 30 years old, by the way. Also, I don't feel bad for the teens that are getting their college acceptances revoked, or their high schools may be expelling them. I don't feel bad for them because they should have been raised better to not say those things.
You're saying the people that are coming out and like saying racist things on video?
Yeah, there's a lot of young kids saying, like young high school kids age, you know, saying a lot of racist
uneducated
and uneducated and ignorant things. And I don't feel bad for them losing their college's acceptances or being expelled from a school because your parents should have taught you better to not say those things, and that this was not okay, you know.
You should have taught yourself better too. Like, you're your own person. You should know right from wrong. Exactly. Like, you should be able to think for yourself and have that mindset. But like, you got anything else? Like, what else can I touch upon for y'all that I've seen? And I think the cops kneeling is propaganda. A knee from a cop is not enough for me. It almost feels like, here, shut up, damn, like, okay, finally, here, like, damn, I got you. You got it. Just be quiet. No, I'm not. We tried to kneel, and a man got blacklisted from the NFL for it. People got killed on social media for it. Not literally killed, but like verbally killed for it. So I'm not hearing it. Like, now y'all want to kneel after we tried to kneel years ago. Nah, I'm not hearing it. But I do think that if you are a cop and you, like, you know, want to take part in things, definitely walk with people. And be that cop to stand up for these innocent lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you see someone, like, for example, him kneeling, they didn't say nothing. They just stood there and just watched it happen. You're a bad cop as well. Regardless if you committing the actual crime or not, you committed a crime. You watched it happen, you let it happen. Be the cop that says, no, like, bro, get off him. Like, it doesn't hurt to do that. Trust me. You're gonna be the hero in that situation. You're gonna save someone's life. You're gonna, you know, like, that's what you're supposed to do as a cop.
Yeah, exactly. You're supposed to protect and serve, not
stand around and be silent.
Not prove to people your authority or come and be violent, or, you know, like, what's another word for violent? You know, not just be brutal and show your force and be physical and aggressive with people. You're supposed to protect and serve first. Protect and serve first. And have some compassion. If a guy is saying he can't breathe, come on.
Yeah.
He's asking for his mom, come on. You have no type of compassion, no type of sympathy. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, hold your co-workers accountable, hold people accountable.
And if you hear people saying something racist, your family members, your friends, speak up, say something. Because there's just people that are just silent about it, and that can't happen anymore. If you want change, it has to start with yourself. Facts. Once it starts with yourself, it's gonna eventually evolve, and things can eventually happen.
The only way change can really happen is when the people who aren't affected by what's going on speak up. So if I see that women are getting hurt, and me as a dude, it's not gonna help. It's not gonna really come through for them until me, who's not affected by it because I'm not a woman, speaks up. So I have to speak up as well and say that I'm bothered. And we really do appreciate those who are sticking by their minority friends and black friends and stuff, and
wanting to see a change.
Exactly, wanting to see a change. And this is not just, you know, a one-sided thing, because my best friend's a cop, my cousins are cops, you know, so it's not just about that, but just make sure you do the right thing as a cop, spread the awareness. Also, make sure you have these talks with your families, your coworkers. Like, hold people accountable. If you know someone is a racist or something, call them out, talk to them, make them see, make them, you know, try to get a word. Because if you're not saying anything, you're just co-signing it, then, you know, like I said, you're a part of the problem. You're an accomplice. Like,
and if you're not speaking up because you don't know too much about it, definitely educate yourself. Watch videos, watch movies. There's a lot of things out there that you can, you know, really educate yourself with and really see what it is that's happening or that's been happening, and then you can speak up and stuff. Like, because I don't know if people are scared maybe because they don't know too much about it, but there's enough to know that's going on right now. Like, look what's happening in the world. Like, come on.
Absolutely, there's definitely enough to know. All it takes is kind of a 5-10 minute videos, you know, a few videos to really see the difference. Like I provided the George Floyd situation with Dylan Roof, who, like I said, Dylan Roof is the one who shot up the church, and George Floyd just a forgery on a check. Yes, he was arrested. He didn't deserve 4 people to be sitting and kneeling on his neck and his body and basically choking him out till he died, you know? Yeah. That's someone's family member, that's someone's loved one. Like, it's gotta stop though. Enough is enough. The people, they've had enough. That's why all this is going on. And the president is just not a good leader right now at all. So
definitely go vote too, guys.
Yeah.
You really need to go out there and vote, because nothing's gonna change if you're just sitting home and not voting. It's gonna continue to be like this.
Yep.
So.
I'm gonna do another video on like what are the next steps minorities and blacks need to take after this, because this battle is not done. So I'm gonna do another video on ways to help and what needs to take place after. All right, but yeah, definitely make sure you vote, show up, show out. Everybody as a team, bigger and better in numbers. But yeah, the rioting is not gonna stop, because people, we need answers. People need to be held accountable. People need to be held accountable now. And not just about that, but your racist friends too. Like, it needs to be held accountable. But this is all we got for y'all today. If y'all want more, comment below. Like I said, I will dive more into things. Just a few movies y'all can go watch. Just Mercy, documentary on Netflix, When They See Us, the Harriet Tubman movie that's out. There's more other movies that you can see.
You could just link them below.
I'll link a lot of movie names below for y'all. But you got any last words for them?
No, just that's it. Like, be the change, you know, stick up for the people, speak out, go to protests, sign petitions, donate, vote, do whatever you guys can, because things need to change.
Like, comment, share, subscribe, repost. You dig? Like, comment, share, subscribe, repost. I'm not playing with y'all. Make sure you subscribe to her channel. Follow her on all social media. Do the same for me. Subscribe. Let's go. Get me to 1,000 subscribers. I'm not playing with y'all. You feel me?
We'll do that, guys.
But we're gonna see y'all next time. Got a blast.
She got the fatty, she let me grab it. Light skin, pretty bitch, nigga causing havoc. She love my fashion, she feel the fabric. Niggas broke and they hating, that's so tragic. She got the fatty.